boys and girls, it's Mrs. R. Ward, and I'd like to read a book to you today. This book is really cute. It's called Eggbert, the Slightly Cracked Egg by Tom Ross and illustrated by Barron. I'm wondering if you think this is a fiction or a non-fiction book. There's the title page. This book was copywritten in 1994. So can you figure out how many years ago that was? If you said 26 years, you are correct. All right, so while we're reading today, please think about if this book is fiction or nonfiction, and if it's told from first or third person, and also the character traits of Eggbert. And here we go. There once was an egg named Eggbert. He loved to paint beautiful pictures. Egbert's paintings always cheered up the other eggs in the refrigerator. But one day, it was discovered that Eggbert was slightly cracked. Eggs with cracked shells were not allowed to stay. Sadly, the other eggs told Eggbert he would have to leave. Eggbert waved goodbye to his old friends. He hunched his shoulders, with the little shoulders that he had, and pressed his shell together so that the crack would almost disappear. Almost. Then he set out to look for a new place to live. All the drawers had labels, but none of them was right for Eggbert. He knew he would have to look harder. There had to be some place that he would fit in. Before long, Eggbert came to a spot with a beautiful view. If only I could stay here, he thought. Then he had a great idea. Can you predict what his idea might be? Or can you predict where he is? No one had to know that he was an egg with a cracked shell. He would paint himself to look like other things around him. He'd blend right in. But just as Eggbert was thinking, he found a perfect place. A potato plant happened to notice his crack. "Split!" the plant ordered. Eggbert tried not to be discouraged. "Maybe I'll have better luck outdoors," he said to himself. The only way down was to jump. Ooh, wonder what's going to happen to him. An egg jumping. That's probably not a good situation. Luckily, Eggbert landed in a soft bed of flowers. He had never seen flowers before, but they smelled even better than butter and lettuce. Perhaps this is the perfect place for me, he thought. A dab here, a splotch there, voila! Eggbert was covered with flowers. But late that afternoon, an angry bee discovered that you cannot get nectar from an egg. Again, Eggbert was told to leave. It was getting dark, and he still had not found a place to live. Just when he was about to give up all hope, a glimmer of something caught his eye. "What beautiful little lights," Eggbert whispered. With all his might and twice his usual care, he climbed up the fence. "Perfect," Eggbert said, when he was covered with stars. If you've watched other books, this might remind you of another book that I read earlier. But the next morning, when the night stars were gone, a cat discovered that Eggbert was just an egg with a cracked shell. "Scramble," said the cat. Eggbert took a hard fall on the sidewalk. Now he was even more cracked than ever. As it started to rain, he began to sob. He realized that no matter how he painted himself, he could not hide who he was to others. Finally, the rain stopped and the sun broke through and there was a crack in the clouds. Eggbert began to notice something he never really noticed in his whole life. The whole world's full of cracks, all sorts of wonderful cracks. Maybe it's not such a bad thing to be slightly cracked, he thought. From then on, Eggbert traveled around the world, making new friends and seeing famous crack sights. But he never forgot his friends back home in the fridge, and he painted them beautiful postcards of his travels. They were well and truly amazed, and they missed him, if the truth be told. To this day, Eggbert does not regret being cracked. In fact, he's even a little proud of it. Now, can you tell if this book was told from first or third person? I bet most of you can. It's told from third person. It did not use the word me, it used characters' names. And the fact that it used characters' names helps us recognize that it is a fiction book. So I hope you enjoyed that book. It is a very creative book, and it reminds me a lot of The Egg Farm that I have read. So if you haven't watched The Egg Farm, that would be a good book to go back and watch. I want you to know that we all miss you very much, and we're hoping that everything is going well and your family is staying healthy, and when it's nice outside, you're able to go outside and do some things. And we're also hoping that you are able to get all your choice boards done and communicate with your teacher. I wish you a great day and be safe.